The Big Buck Profile is brought to you by the New York State Big Buck Club.
Well, we're here at the banquet with James. Nice to meet you. Tell us about this giant. County, weapon of harvest, and gross inches, and you got a little story with it. Give it to us.
Yeah, so I shot him in Niagara County with my bow. He grossed 189 and 7/8. And I shot him November 5th. I started seeing pictures of him late October. As soon as I laid out, I'm like, oh my God, he's a giant.
It is a giant.
And all the camera pictures were from like 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. And I'm like, oh man, I'm never gonna see this deer, you know?
Yeah.
But he showed up during the day, around October, probably around Halloween. And I went out that evening early just to see if I can lay eyes on him.
Sure.
And I ended up spooking this deer. He was bedded 20 yards from my trail. And I got trail camera pictures of me watching this deer run away.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, I'm never gonna see this deer again. So he ran about 100 yards behind my stand. So I waited about a couple hours before dark, give him a couple grunts, doe bleeds, and about an hour later, he beelines right towards me. And I'm like, oh my God. He stops 25 yards away, just in the thick, never gave me a shot. Walked away. In those days, I never got any more pictures of him. I went back to work and pulled in my driveway, picture of him again. I'm like, oh my God. I called in the next day. That's when I gave it to him.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, he was following the doe, and I thought it was a little 4-point. He was grunting because the little 4-point was chasing the doe all morning. I'm like, it's that little 4-point again. I'm like, oh, that's not him. And he came up, staring right at me, and he saw that doe, started going. I whacked him and trotted 20 yards and fell.
Amazing.
And, yep.
Do you have like years back pictures of him, or is he just like a new buck that showed up?
I saw him, and I was like, I remember this deer I had on picture last year. I only got pictures of him once. It had like showed characteristics of non-typical.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's that deer.
Yeah.
But he almost doubled probably the size.
Wow.
It was just
So
unbelievable.
you thinking this is a 5-year-old, 5.5, 6-year-old?
We're
something
actually
like
thinking he's only a 3.5-year-old. Yep.
He's got that Roman nose on him is
Yeah, it's
what makes me think he's a little older, but he's just genetically he's a freak.
yeah. Like my taxidermist said, yeah, you don't see big body, big antlers. It's one or the other, you know. And he's like, yeah, I don't put this deer over 3.5.
That's insane.
That's just crazy good
He's a genetic
genes.
freak,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, genetic
That's
freak.
crazy.
Yeah.
What a buck.
Niagara County for you, though. But
It's Niagara County.
Yeah,
Niagara
they're all
County
over.
produced some really, really big deer.
Giants, yeah.
Man.
So-
Well, thank you very much for coming by, sharing your
Thank
story,
you.
man.
Yeah.
What a giant.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
Yeah. Still can't believe it.
Yeah. Oof.